Hey folks, it's Stephen here from Engage People. You're very welcome to today's webcast. Here at Engage People, we align business with talent, and one of our guests today, the very first guest actually, is Paul Merriman, the CEO of PAX Financial. How are you, Paul?
Not too bad yourself. You keeping well?
Yeah, great. Thanks. Paul, we would
Good,
have
good.
met there back in February, so it would have actually been pre-COVID, which seems like a long time ago
Yes,
now.
different world.
So just kind of wanted to get a good understanding, I suppose, of how you found the last few months. So personally, yourself, Paul, how have you found this period of time?
Um, I feel strange saying this, but it's been extremely busy, and the business has done remarkably well considering the challenges that have been out there. I think a lot of people are looking for financial advice, and obviously we have the brand Ask Paul, which we do a lot on social media. So a lot of people are at home, a lot of people are engaging with us. We had our busiest period in Ask Paul ever since we started 4 years ago, and our busiest 3 month period, rather, I should say. So it's kind of been great. Now the only struggle is I've been working from home, so I actually was out. I have a bit of a kidney complaint, so I was in one of those high risk categories. So I think before we went into lockdown, we took the kids out of school and worked from home. So we were kind of I was 2 weeks ahead of the curve, I suppose, in relation
Yeah,
to working from home. I was luckily we just moved into a new house, and so I had that nice feel to like
congratulations.
a new house, not a brand new house, obviously a new house for us. And we had a big office that I was going to take, so got dug in there, and it was brilliant. So yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, business is flying. Got a really good system at home. My wife Sarah and the kids. Challenging at times, but yeah, no, it's been really good, and it's really changed how I'm going to work into the future as well, Stephen, which I think is what a lot of people are probably experiencing. Like I'm in the office today. It's a Friday. We're recording this, obviously, and then on I think Monday. Yeah, I come in every Monday now is the plan, and then still work from home Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday because consultation wise, used to be about 10 and kind of up to 30 now consultations a week, which is phenomenal for my business. And the reason being is that I'm not in the Jeep or I'm not running around town like a headless chicken trying to meet people. So Zoom has been, I used to always do it Tuesday in the office with clients around the country. I couldn't get to Dublin or get into the office in Sandyford. And usually late nights on Tuesday with clients, well, they might have kids and etc. So yeah, just sitting at home now, just doing Zooms, knocking Zooms out, talking to clients nearly every second day, which is amazing. It's what I love doing. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And I suppose then work-wise, Paul, I know you touched on it a bit there. Just how's the morale been across the team in general? And I suppose I know you're saying that you guys, you'd be able to operate in Zoom, but the productivity and stuff, how have you found it? Has it altered slightly or changed? Or?
Yeah, well, we have the guys back in work now, and we went remote working fairly quickly. So I think day one when we heard about lockdown, we went out, bought everyone printer scanners, mobile phones. Staff that didn't have mobile phones got company phones, and we set everybody up from home, pretty much within 24 hours, which was great to be able to do. We've an amazing team. No, everybody says that, but we genuinely do. The guys are great. The biggest challenge we had was trying to keep up with the levels of new business because we had ourselves set up for X amount of reviews, X amount of clients that we manage, and we're quite good at processing and making sure we deliver clients at a very good service in relation to getting them through, whether it's pensions or investments or whether it's mortgages or life insurance. There's a certain way of doing that business so the client gets their documentation quickly, gets on cover quickly, gets to draw down their mortgage quickly, whatever the process is. And to try and keep that, the guys had to literally put in stellar performances, working past 5 o'clock, working into the night, working on Saturdays and Sundays, and no one moaned. Everyone did it, and I couldn't be more proud of our team. Now we've recruited, as you know, a good few new bodies during COVID-19. We're on the lookout for more people again at the moment, which you guys helped, which is great. So yeah, the team have been great. The morale. We did a few things like we used to send out stuff every Thursday. We have a good relationship with Cali Foods and the likes of NutriQuick with Tom Gannon's a good guy. So Tom, we reached out to Tom and got snacks out on a Friday. Then we moved to Snack Farm, another guy, Stan, he did same, send out the stuff to staff on a Friday. So just little bits and pieces like that. We got food vouchers delivered out for them and their families as a takeaway for, say, thanks. So just trying to do something each week. Now, we didn't make it every week just from being busy, but we tried to do something during the time to try and keep them ran up. But I'm going to be honest, I'm delighted to have them back in the office. I know a lot of people are saying this new work from home thing is great and it's a new way. but it's very, very hard to keep the morale and keep the team and keep people flowing through certain processes when they're disconnected. As great as Zoom is and as great as the staff are, I think some businesses will thrive on having people in. And because we're in a growth phase, Stephen, what happens is we've training. So, we've got a couple of new starts.
Mm.
It's hard to train those new starts from home. They need to be sitting beside somebody all day, every day. I feel anyway, as CEO, and I think they probably will agree. So hopefully in 3 or 4 months, we develop a new team. We're going to need new premises as well. So once that comes in, we'll probably look at staff doing flexi and working at home a little bit more and things like that. But at the moment, it's unfortunate we all need to be together. And we've spent a good few bob getting the office ready and screens everywhere and social distancing, and we got the place fumigated. We're getting it done every couple of weeks. We've got all the protocols. But again, we've an amazing team. Mark is our CFO, and he took the role of doing all that. Fair play to him. I didn't. I came in with Instagram and took a video of someone doing it. I thought it was great, but he actually organised it all. So again, it's having people in those different positions that will muck in and make sure stuff like that gets done. It's been good all around for everybody, I think.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And I suppose just in regards, you touched on it a little bit there, but just how did you achieve effective communication across the team during that period? Like, was there any kind of technology tools that you used? I know you use Zoom, but was there Microsoft Teams, or how did you feel? Was it just
Yeah,
your
we
phone calls?
just we just use Zoom as much as possible. Now, in fairness, we tried to give the guys, we didn't do too many team meetings. I'm going to be honest, the very first week we had 2 or 3 team meetings, and I think everyone was kind of saying, will you go away? We know what we're doing. I think sometimes managers and, meetings about meetings is not great to be doing. I'm a big believer in that. One thing we're going to bring into the business now is not to have so many meetings, to maybe report to one person. So Amanda looks after most of my clients that have done business with us will know Amanda quite well at this stage. She's amazing. So I would have had a direct line of contact with Amanda every day, going through different cases. People are looking to see me, getting them in the diary, and there's actions to be carried off for clients. Again, back to whether it's a mortgage or whatever we're doing for a client, Amanda will look after that client. So, and then Ian, my business partner, we would have a direct communication with Linda, and we'd also have a direct communication with Connor, who's another partner of the company. So I think keeping the communication channels small is more effective than having these big Zoom meetings and dropping productivity for no reason for an hour and just talking for the sake of it. I love talking, as you can tell, but it gets in the way of business sometimes. So I think that direct communication worked well for us, when we just brought everyone into a small little team. You two work together, you three work together, you two work together, and just touch base with Mark, who looks after the finance and the figures. He wanted to make sure, so everyone just reported back into Mark, and Mark reported to me once a week. And that was it. And it worked really, really well. So not trying to overcomplicate it and keep it slick and simple.
Yeah, very good. And I suppose from your point of view, what do you feel will change after COVID-19? Like, do you feel that a lot of companies will introduce remote working? Will it become more common in the workplace, or do you just still feel that there's still that disconnect?
Look, for me personally, I'm a people kind of person. I miss meeting clients, to be honest with you. I've been on Zooms with clients, and even time the kids are on their lap. There's been loads of mad situations. I had a client in the bathroom on the floor where her husband was minding the kids outside. They were banging off the door trying to get into her, trying to have a consultation, and it's been weird. It's been wonderful. I do think, and it's probably selfish on my behalf, I do like to see the team in the office and like to see them communicating and learning off each other and working off each other. But like I said, we're in a growth phase, so it's very difficult. I think if we were settled and we weren't growing as much as we were as a business, I wouldn't mind everyone being at home and doing their own things. There's a big trust and transparency there as a team, and that's really important. But I think going forward, I don't know. I think when the kids go back to school, it'd be easier to tell, because you have to be conscious that people, this is not a real work from home situation. This is work from home, be a mother and be a father, and trying to juggle 3 kids, because the grandparents couldn't help out, the aunties and uncles. So you had kids. Like, I've seen people, doing Zoom calls in the shower or in the hot press, trying to get away from the family, which has to be done. So I'd be interested to see how it evolves when the kids go back to school and there's some sort of normality, and somebody can wake up in the morning, and when they have kids, give 4 or 5 hours non-divided attention to their job. Then go pick their kids up, bring them back, get them settled, and do another 2 or 3 years, whatever that looks like. And I'm not talking about my guys now. I'm just talking about life in general, from what I'm feeling and hearing of people. I I can work from home very easily. But I just know that's not the case for everybody. So
Yeah, true.
I think it's going to be one of these things that will evolve. But I don't think it's going to be the dream that everybody thinks of. I've heard a lot of people say they miss the water cooler conversation, they miss the coffee, they miss the lunch with their friends. A lot of people do use work as a way to socialize as well and get away from, not saying away from their lives, but as in get away from the house and go to work for 8 hours and come back. And that's normal. When you're stuck there all day, it can play on mental health. It can play on your fitness levels. It can play on your kind of interactions with people. So I think the office is a good place to be if you have the right environment, which I hope we do. And I'd be interested to see how this works out. But I can't see it being this. I don't think this is the saving grace that everyone thinks it's going to be. And I don't think people really want to work from home as much as they thought they did. Now, what I will say, finally, on that point, is I do see a big advantage if you are remote access and you can do your job efficiently from home. I think a lot of people that are from the country living in Dublin are now going, hey, maybe don't need to be in Dublin. You know,
True.
might be paying 500 grand for a house. Maybe I could move back home. Maybe the two of us could get a job back in Cork or Galway or along for the wherever you're from, and get that really affordable house. And I probably have that much better lifestyle and much better air and much better kind of life for your kids and whatever else than you do when you're rammed into Dublin. So I hope that might change and maybe take a little bit of pressure off people having to feel like they have to belong in Dublin, because Ireland's an amazing country, 32 counties, and it's not all. It's a shame that it's all centred around Dublin and Leinster, and so hopefully this will help move business back into other locations.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you touched a bit on it already, Paul, just around, new business that, obviously things have which is great news, have moved forward for you in regards to the amount of applications and inquiries. But how has COVID-19 affected the market, do you think? And what have you noticed, I suppose, in that sense?
Well, from a financial planning point of view, I think everybody got the fright of their lives and realised that they were probably overstretched again, probably had too many car loans, had too many credit union loans. I think people really put a value on decisions they probably made in the past with their money. COVID-19 should have been, if anyone's like listening to this and they still have their job, they should have kept. They couldn't spend as much as they probably would have done normally. Obviously, everyone was closed. You should have saved money. So I think people started to think, oh, we're on good salaries. We don't really have much to show for it. We've no emergency funds. We've nothing really set up. Oh shit, let's reach out to your man that's annoying us on Instagram all the time. So yeah, and that's what happened. And we were lucky that we were there. And we've been doing social media, trying to help people. The Ask Paul website and the Ask Paul Instagram page has tons of free information. I do Ask Paul Mondays where I've answered thousands of questions for people, from everything to do with mortgages, pensions, savings, investments, tax, kids' education, you name it, we cover for people. Because I think people are very very underinformed about finance in this country compared to maybe the US or even across in the UK. So that was our mission from day one, to help people gain more understanding of personal finance and then help them make decisions, hopefully to help out, reach out to me to help them or even anybody else. So yeah, I think people started to get a shock, and even those that were very secure started to feel, oh no, like what happens if we do go on this COVID payment to 350 and we're usually bringing home $1,000 a week? What happens if we do lose our jobs, or what happens if we can't go back? We don't really need that PC. I always talk about PCP contracts for car loans, and I slaughter them all the time. But we literally had people going, how do I get my car back? How do I downsize my car? I don't need that car. I don't need that loan, and they're regretting the personal loans. And I think when you go down to 350 a week and you have to ring your landlord to try and get a break freeze, or you have to ring the bank to get a mortgage freeze, and you have to start ringing, car companies, and you have to start ringing the credit union because you took a stupid loan out for something like that. And like most people I speak to say, very honest, they can't remember what took loans out for most times. They haven't just always had them.
Yeah.
So people really get into that frame of mind, which not going to be COVID's a disaster for us as an economy, as a country. But, I think it gave people a kick in the backside that they maybe needed when it came to money and how much they didn't plan. And so I think that's going to change people's attitude coming out of this. And I think that's how it's affected. Market-wise as well, we got a lot of people, stocks and shares were down. People started talking about, obviously airline stocks got absolutely hammered. They did come back a bit on the back of the US pumping a lot of money into them. But you got people all of a sudden saying, well, the stock market's down, let's invest, and let's reach out to him and find out how we invest properly. And we set up an Ask Paul investment strategy for people to get involved in stocks and shares and follow me. We came up with this. Well, look, I'll do it. I'll put 500 quid a month into a fund, into an account that people can just follow what I'm doing, and that went really, really, really well. A lot of people reached out to get involved in that, which was great. So yeah, I think people start seeing the opportunity, and I think a big change for me has been over the last number of years. I've been obviously doing a lot of stuff on social media, but people started looking at like Gary Vaynerchuk or whether it's Tony Robbins trying to, or Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and they're trying to say, right, okay, there's a little bit more knowledge about stocks and shares, a little bit more knowledge about what I shouldn't leave my money on deposit because it does nothing for me. So, but they had no one. I think I'm probably not the only one doing it in Ireland, but we have a good presence on social media. So they start coming to me asking me, look, I've read this book. What do you think? And they start reaching out with more inquiries like that than we've ever seen before. So I think they were using the internet, not just me, but social media to look at content they probably didn't have time to look at before, educating themselves the way they probably wouldn't have educated themselves before. So, yeah, I think people's shift towards money is definitely being increased. Towards financial planning and towards thinking about the money better has been impacted greatly by COVID-19.
Yeah, it's allowed people to reevaluate, and they have more time in their hands, I suppose, to kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, we have a very good personal budget template that's free to download and that got absolutely hammered through COVID-19. Again. It was like, I think we had a few thousand the first week where people are just logging on, downloading, saying, right, what do we do?
Yeah.
And that's great. And we love doing that. It's a free download. Look, knock yourself out, fill it in, and find out where you are financially. And it's great that they can do that,
Yeah, very good. And I suppose you touched on it a small bit as well previously, just about the environment. You're obviously involved in PAX and a few other brands within the business. But how did you find, starting off building that culture, within the team there? How did you find what was important to you, I suppose?
From a business point of view and recruitment, I think when we first engaged you guys for recruitment, it was starting to grow, really grow. I started off, I bought PAX from somebody in 2011. And Connor, who's always been kind of my right-hand man from day one, came with me in one of those Jerry Maguire moments. We both worked in Irish Life, and he was the only one that stood up and came when I was going. But Connor's been amazing. Except when Connor started a kind of shared office in Baggot Street. Now we're in Sandyford looking for new digs, and we've got 20-odd staff, and we developed another company, Clear Choice, and other brands, whether it's Ask Paul or Expert Pension and all these things. But we started off, trying to build a culture is very, very difficult, I find. And I will say, no offense, I would have been on the kind of fence of you just find people yourself that, recruitment consultants and they charge and will keep your costs down, yada, yada. And I soon realized you can't do it yourself, and you do need experienced recruiters. You do need someone to screen those CVs and really find a fit for your company. And you're going to be successful doing that for us, obviously, which would be great. But it's taken a long time. Like, we've kissed a lot of frogs to find our princes in the team, our princesses in the team. So it's hard. It's not easy. It's way harder than I thought it was going to be. Still, mind you, 11 years ago, I had visions to build a big company. And I say big company as a money-wise, and staff-wise and service-wise. I thought it'd be easy. It's very difficult to find people that want to really work hard and really believe in what you're trying to do as a CEO or as a company or as a brand. Genuine is very hard. So, we've built it. Thank God, we're getting there. We're still learning. We probably always evolve as a team and always evolve in that kind of. I think from a company point of view, me even, we're no short of toys anymore. We probably would have done in the beginning, and just culture's just shifted as the years have gone by. But that's me being out and seeing how other companies do things as well, and being in companies doing presentation or staff and finance and seeing whether there's cool IT or tech companies or whether the accountancy firms that are moving into more kind of relaxed atmospheres. And we've tried to bring that back into our own company. So I've always been very lucky in that my role as a financial planner is I've been in boardrooms, I've been on building sites, I've been in thousands of companies over the last 20 years, seeing how it's done right and how it's done wrong. So we always try to learn and bring it back. So it's evolved a lot, but we're not there yet, and we'll probably never be. I think if anybody sits in an interview with you and tells you they have the best morale with their staff, or they have the best team, or they have the best of this, is bullshit. I think you always have to evolve and develop that.
Course,
and we're doing that, but we're very proud of where we've got to over the last kind of 9 years, and it has massively changed over 2 years. I will say that.
Yeah, very good. I suppose from my point of view, like we would get a lot of graduates, business graduates that reach out to us. I'm
Yeah.
sure you guys have the same, but what sort of advice and considerations for today and tomorrow's graduates would you give, Paul, looking for a new role?
Do you know what? I did this on one of my Instagram videos about setting up business and, what to do when you're coming out of college or whatever else from a graduate point of view. I feel sorry for people these days because it's very competitive out there. It really is. But when I was in my early 20s, listening to someone nearly 40 talk like this was annoying. So I tried not to be condescending or try to be too much of a melt saying these things.
Of course.
You have to be willing to put in like past 9 to 5 and literally give your not the life to your boss, but your life to your career and the brand that you're following or the company that you're in. Whether you stay there and move on or not, I don't know. But I will be trying to nail a sector. Like I fell in love with this sector when I got into Irish life. I was in Royal Lions Force, which is general insurance, didn't really like it. Lucky enough to get a job and a start in Irish life, got in by the skin of my teeth. Didn't really want me, but it kind of kicked my way in the door. And I loved it. And I committed to it from day one. Did all the QFAs, the Qualified Financial Advisor exams. Then went off to the CFP. I was studying for nearly 10 years. I know not 10 years of exaggeration, but on and off over those years and trying to learn as much as I could and work my ass off. And I've been lucky that the industry has repaid me bucket loads. So I do think if you're leaving college, you're in that grad kind of mode, rather than trying to just take any job, try and pick a sector, and then say, right, I'm going to give my all to this sector because the sector will repay you. It mightn't be the employer, you might work for a complete prat or a company that's going nowhere. That's okay as long as you commit to the sector. So if your job's a nightmare, you got to just look at, well, what can I do at night time to progress in this sector? So what can I do myself to make the best out of this sector, to know it inside out, to know my competitors, to know where I'm going, to upskill myself. Like if it is the insurance sector, obviously do your exams at night time. But like I had my nephew Ross, who's now working with the big four accountancy firm, start with me as part-time when he went to college at the DIT. And I got Ross to do the QFAs, even though he was studying for his degree at the time. But he got a really good interview in EY, and he was the only one out of every single one of them, and many few hundred people that applied that had his QFA. But I said to Ross when he was coming in, own the sector. Like, don't, I know you're working for your uncle, you're in here, it's a part-time job, it's doing a favour. Not doing a favour, but it's giving a dig out, giving him a job. Obviously, he was a kid. He's flying now, but he really did own the sector. He came in, worked his ass off for us, did his QFAs. Not everyone else in college, no one else would do that. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's easy to get into a job and just forget that the job is so small and that overall, like PAX, we probably nearly 100 million under management in this industry that has about in the brokerage about 20 billion. Like we're so small, but we're part of a massive sector. So trying to get the staff to buy into that sector and buy into the commitment to that sector, I think is what I would encourage graduates to do, even if they do get a crap position as a crap company to work for.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. Yeah, no, that's excellent advice, I suppose, on the industry side of it. And it's kind of moving on from that, what would you look for then in a company, from a company point of view, what they offer, additional benefits, anything like that? What would you look for in that?
Yeah, additional benefits. We're just doing this for our homes now at the moment, so we're late to the party on this as well because we've been growing and trying to get our cash flow and trying to get everything. So I think more established companies rather than like we're an SME still, 20 staff or lower. Once you get into kind of 50 staff plus, you're looking for the likes of pensions, income protection schemes, as in your base sure if you're out of work sick, you're covered by some type of product, death and service benefits. And they're the kind of financial stuff you should be looking for, And now, obviously, people are going to be looking for maybe working from home. So you can get a bit of tax relief or tax-free payment, a few quid a day to do work from home. So making sure employers are going to do that for you to bring it. That's only a few. It's not that much money over the year, but some type of financial aid that way. But if I'm going to be honest, that therefore people that I would think have 5 years experience are coming towards their 20s. A lot of companies do them. Like when I worked in Irish Life and I worked in Royal Lions, would have went in, you would have automatically got your pension scheme. But they give you lower salaries because they're paying for the benefits as well. So it's a trade-off. And most people in their 20s, early 20s coming out of college don't really give, two shits about where their pension is. So they just don't have that in them.
Yeah.
So, if it was me again, the Irish Life is a great learning ground for me. In fairness, it was amazing, and I love my time in Irish Life. I'd encourage. I would like to see people getting into that big companies if they can. Like I would encourage anyone coming out to try and get into one of those companies, maybe for a massive experience or growth in their career. But say to yourself, I'm out of here after year 4 and I'm going to jump into somewhere like PAX or a smaller company that's grown because there's more salary, more vision, more growth, more to learn from. Like, going to a smaller accountancy firm, try to establish yourself, open up your own accountancy firm maybe before age 30 or 35 and developing clients. Or else come somewhere like here, somewhere where you have a chance to maybe probably would be a lower salary, probably wouldn't have the amazing benefits that you would have in the big organizations. It's going to be a smaller office, not going to have all the social aspects of it. So that's what you're giving up. It's a kind of balance.
Yeah.
And if you can find someone that you want to work for that is entrepreneurial and you feel that person's going somewhere and you can learn for them or help them achieve somewhere and you'll be rewarded from them, I'm sure. And, like Conor, when he started with me, Conor's now a director and shareholder of the business 9 years later. So it's been a phenomenal journey for the both of us as people and as friends and work colleagues. And all the other staff that are working here that are really committed or well looked after, I'd like to think, and sure they will say that. They better say that. But that's the other thing you can do. Just to give people an insight to the kind of flip what you're looking at. And there's loads of young companies out there and loads of people that would love to take graduates on and get some really good experience on. But you want to give to me, graduates, I'm not saying sell your soul. I wouldn't look anyone sell their soul to me at all. But as I said earlier on, selling your soul to your sector is way more important for you because you can just learn so much in any sector. I don't care if it's the motor trade, the building trade, insurance, legal, or the recruitment sector, whatever it is. And you can see the good people. Like, look at you doing this. Like, not many people will be doing this type of stuff at your age and your level of your career. So you can see where people really have a passion for stuff and how it's going to pay them forward in years to come.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I must say as well, you've been an actual inspiration from watching the Ask Paul videos. I've followed you on Instagram and I found them very beneficial. And it's something that obviously we're looking to start from an engaged people point of view, asking for, recruitment advice, maybe setting up a question type scenario on the stories.
Yeah.
So I've introduced it to our marketing team here and they love it. So we're going to follow and hopefully we'll get, a lot out of it and, everyone will benefit.
Yeah, well, that's great. Good to hear. And thanks for the compliment. Much appreciated. I genuinely mean that because we do a lot of stuff and it's great to hear that it can add value to other sectors. Other financial advisors do the same as me now as well. It's great. So it's brilliant. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem at all. Well, listen, Paul, I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man. Listen, I think it's going to be very beneficial to our listeners here today that a lot of graduates, business owners, and that will get some value out of this conversation. So I appreciate your time. No problem.
Okay, no problem. Steve, thanks a minute, gentlemen. Thanks. Have a great day. Enjoy the weekend.
Thanks, Paul. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks.